Sean Bastow, Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat, here today with Dale Canelo Coyne. How you doing?
Good, mate. Are you?
Yeah, good. I've just been stood there watching you in training, doing your last little bits. It's fight week. You ready for it on Saturday? You're looking really good, really sharp, really powerful. Clobbering Steve in the face as well while you're at it.
Yeah, I've got them both today. I've got Paul and Steve, so that's a bonus.
Pretty good. So obviously you got your fight on Saturday. It's Ben Davies, isn't it?
Yeah. Short notice. I only found out last week. Probably the best opponent on paper that I'm going to fight. Winning record. And I think he's one of them people that if you want to see how much you are up there towards the English title level, I think you've got to come through this lad. You know what I mean? If he comes to win, he's got plenty of stoppages on his record, so it's going to be probably my toughest fight to date and my best fight.
Well, this is it. You're at the stage in your career now where you're looking to progress on to go for like an English title, like you say, and Ben Davies is the perfect opponent really because he's got a winning record. He's been in with some good kids. This is the chance to say he's the measuring stick really for you now.
That's it. I mean, I keep saying in interviews I want to go for the English title next season, so this is my chance now to prove that I'm at that level. I think the person who held the English title most recently, he beat Ben Davies, so like I say, be a good gauge to see whereabouts I am. If I keep saying I want the title fight, these are the sort of fights you need now to prove that you are at that level.
And I was obviously the camp gone because you've been in camp for quite a few weeks now. Going into Saturday's fight, how has it been going overall?
Great. We don't have much time off. And when we do, we have 3 weeks. We have a nice rest because we train as hard as we can. Leading up to these fights. So when we are fit, we like to stay fit. We could have left maybe this year, but then we might not get out till March, and I don't think that's much good. We spent 10 weeks getting ready for the Daryl Sharp fight, getting as fit as we could, and I only had a week off, and then I was straight back in the gym. So we like to keep that fitness, that core fitness, while we've got it. And like I say, I've only had a week out since August, so I'm flying at the minute. As soon as I got back in the gym, my track times were as good as they was at the end of the last camp. I kept that core fitness, and then the weight dropped nice and quick. So it's gone well.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the weight because obviously before while you was training, I was talking to Steve about it, and I was asking about how the transition period's going because we talked about it before in previous interviews. How are you feeling for this one?
Great. I mean, it's a bit higher than what we'd liked. We was looking towards making the actual middleweight title limit, the 11.6. We wanted to make that, it's just nice to say you've made it. It was only a pound ever in the last camp, but it'd be nice to say we made it. But obviously, he was fighting at an higher weight, meant to be fighting Luke Blackledge, who pulled out. So, it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter what we weigh in at. It's still the day before. We still both get to refuel and get some food in us. So it makes no odds to me, really. Yeah,
we've talked about this so many times, haven't we, actually, about the weight. But middleweight's ideally where I know Steve said he wants you to be and where you want to be, and that's where he believes you're going to be most of a force at.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, we didn't want to kill ourselves when I was younger, to grow naturally.
Yeah.
If we grew into the weight, that was great, but obviously I think I've done the most growing I'm going to do now. I'm 23. And since I've come down in weight, I've seen nothing but improvements in training, in sparring, like I say, on the track times and the sprints. They've only got better. So I think, if anything, being at super middleweight was hindering me a little bit. Everything just seems to be clicking into place now. I've actually dropped down in weight. Like I say, it's no problems making it either. So it's a weight that I'm comfortable at. I mean, I probably will get, obviously, the older I get, probably the tougher it'll get. We've seen that with plenty of fighters, having to go up. But if we do have to go up at a later stage, I've been there and done it as well, so.
You're still only 23 though, aren't you?
Yeah, they only turned 23 2.5 weeks ago.
You got plenty of time then, haven't you, really, to transition through the weights?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was quite evident in the last fight, the sort of mid-range that you was between middleweight and super middleweight when you fought Daryl Sharp, and I said to you when I did the post-fight interview with you, the performance, I've never seen Daryl sort of bullied around the ring that much. Not a lot of people do that to him, so for me, when you was in there and you just got bullying him around the ring a little bit, it felt to me like, that power that we was talking about pre-fight, it was certainly there because he doesn't back up, a lot in a lot of fights, Daryl. And I'll tell you firsthand that I spoke to him, and he said to me, he's one of the better kids that he's been in with. So, it's a good measuring stick when you fight someone who fights every week because they can sort of say who's good and really who isn't.
Yeah. Well, they fight like plenty of prospects, don't they? The ones that are the main prospects and some that are just coming up, but. Yeah, it's good to get him someone like Daryl, who, like I say, he fights up at super middle sometimes, fights down at middleweight, obviously held the Central Area title. So that would have been a good gauge, like you say. Not many people go in and do what I done to Daryl, you know what I mean? As soon as the first 2 punches landed, I felt like I was the bigger man, the stronger man.
Yeah.
And I think he thought the same thing, you know, there wasn't really much he could do. When he did let his hands go, I was out of range or just keeping him at bay. But and then he gets in with Matty Ryan the week after, and he puts on a good performance there, you know, coming forward and strong. A lot of people said it was closer than what the scorecard suggested.
Well, it was,
so.
yeah, it definitely was. I totally agree with what you're saying and what other people were saying about that. It was closer, but so it's a good chance now with Ben Davies to make another impact. You impressed quite a lot of people when you beat Daryl Sharp in that type of a fashion. Okay, it wasn't like a stoppage, a KO or anything like that, but the way you bullied him around the ring was one of the big things that a lot of people took away. So if you could go in there and do that against someone like Ben Davies, who's got a winning record, been in with a lot of good kids, again, you'll be making another impact, and that was it.
It's a statement. I mean, that's what Steve's asking of me now. Every time I get in the ring, it's another good performance and another statement. Make a statement to these people out there at my weight. You know, I'm here. Let's take it serious. You know what I mean? What would be a force to be reckoned with down at middleweight. So, and then the only way I can do that is put on the performance and do what I do best. Really, if I box to my best ability, I should get the win.
In 2018, obviously, it's looking a lot like you're going to go for the English title. I'm assuming that is the plan now.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, was questioning the Central Area as well. That'd be nice to get, maybe early next year or sometime in the summer. And then we definitely want to be pushing on to more that stage. By the time I'm 24, I think that's the perfect time for you to get into that British title mix. And like I always say, once I get there, I want to stay there and then push on. You know, I don't want to win a British, defend it, and then maybe defend it again, and you see these kids that get beat and you come down. Once I get there, I want to push on from there then.
Yeah.
Go on to the next level until in the end we get as far as we possibly can for that world title. Yeah,
well, this is the dream, isn't it? This is what the majority of fighters get into the game is for that.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? I mean, if you're not getting in there believing you're going to be the best, you know, what's the point in doing it?
Yeah, well, this is it. Some people might say that, but then some people might listen to it and think, well, some of us just want to get in and get paid, and obviously there's guys like journeymen out there that are doing it obviously to provide a living, so they might say something, but obviously for guys that want to make something out of it in terms of go for a world title, you're only going to believe one thing, and that's that you're going to rise to the top.
Everyone wants to do it, like they say, just shoot as high as you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one ever fails with try it, you know, you've got to try. At least to get up there, you've got to give it a go. Otherwise, you don't get nothing in life, do you? You've got to go out there.
No, it's true. With anything you do. Only one final thing. I've seen on social media that you got a new sponsor recently. So you've got another sponsor to add to your original one. So do you want to give them sponsors a shout out?
Yeah, I've got Norton's, Brian, who's been sponsoring me now about 18 months. Great help. Rochdale Glass, always, he provides me t-shirts and stuff like that, the bits and bobs. And then we've got a new fella, Jacob, helping me out now tremendously with proper fitted blinds in Manchester. You know, we jumped on last week, and like I say, for someone to put money into somebody, I'd never met Jacob before until they come down, and then he said, let me have a think about it, and within, I think, 20 minutes, he put it on his social media that he was willing to do it, so it's just massively appreciated. You know, sometimes I think when you're asking people for sponsors, they don't realise how much it does mean to you when you get them. You know, it helps us out massively, especially when we're doing it full time. You know, we're not getting much money out of the game yet, and these sponsors are just critical to young lads like myself.
That's it. Right, well, I'm going to wrap it up and say thanks very much for speaking to us. Good luck for Saturday.
Yeah,
we'll see you soon.
See you soon.